This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react. I don't know why I hit record before I got the cough drop, but here we are. Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another Anthropologist Analyzes Anna's video way too goddamn much at this point. Are 4 videos enough for you guys? Alright, last video, we went over this We Need to Talk video. We looked at it through the dark anthropology lens, and we talked about the principles of dark anthropology. As per this video, I think we got into it pretty hard. I think. But I also wanted to go over it with the 48 laws of power. We're not going to do the 33 principles of war just because I have a cough drop if you didn't know. As I said in the first video, this isn't a call to action for Anna. This is a CYA, and this is also a lecture. She is scolding the audience. She is telling the reactors that we are awful, awful people. And as I said in the first video, I really do kind of want to go over this in 2 parts. I want to do like a general overview of the video, but then I also really do want to look at the 2 parts of the video in more depth, which is her sitting at the picnic table and then her also here in her home in the PJs. So, and the 48 laws are a little bit more better for that than the principles, or yeah, than the dark anthropology principles. I also can't talk today, so it's been fun. So I just, if you don't know what the 48 Laws of Power are, they're Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. It's a really good book. I'll have a link to it in the description down below. If you haven't read them, might as well give it a look. They are basically how to manipulate. How to manipulate, how to recognize manipulation, how to be a better manipulator. So, we are not going to watch this video because we've already done that once, but I may have clips interdispersed throughout. I'm trying to use my big words. Throughout this video, or I may not. It'll depend on how long the video already is. So, it's going to be our first clip. Watch very closely, children.
Did you miss me? Because I'm back. I know.
All right. This is an important moment. Where are my notes? This is Law 16, the use of absence to increase respect and honor. This is a controlling dynamic to exploit empathy. This is where Anna just appears casually but deliberately trying to create a narrative of longing and emotional anticipation. She is acknowledging that she has been gone for a bit, and this is kind of the intent here. She's basically acknowledging that she has lost a little bit of audience retention, and she is trying to recapture her audience after an extended absence. Now, at this point, Anna's been not putting up long form content for right around 5, almost 6 months at this point. So there's been a lot of chatter in the Glitterverse over if Anna was ever going to come back to YouTube, because though she had been posting and has been posting shorts to YouTube pretty regularly, she didn't have the comments turned on, and someone on her behalf or herself had gone through and turned comments off on all of her videos for all 8 years that she had been on YouTube. So you could no longer comment on any of the videos that Anna has on YouTube. This video in question does have the comments enabled, but they are very heavily curated. So unless you're going to go over there and say something incredibly nice, you can't comment. So don't even bother. Unless you're going to go say something very nice, you can go do that. But this particular intro that she does here, this, did you miss me? This is the Law 16. And it's the creation of anticipation, right? And if that had been Anna's actual intent from the beginning, if she really had been pulling like a Nikocado avocado, where how long was he gone? A year, maybe 2 years, something like that. Where he basically, I think he was posting content, but it was all pre recorded stuff. And he basically left the internet for a year or so and just dropped a crap ton of weight. And then when he came back, I don't know what was wrong with him. He came back wearing a panda head and was saying something about how he was 2 steps ahead of all of us plebes or something. I don't know. I didn't watch it, obviously. I don't really like Nikocado, so I didn't watch it. But I have a little bit of respect for the guy because he like left and came back as skinny mini. So, whatever. I have respect for him in that aspect. If that had been what she had done, that would have played a lot more into the like intention of this law, that creation of the anticipation of Anna's return, because the way Nikocado did it, that is how this law is intended to be used. That, oh, what's he doing? Where's he gone? What's going to happen when he comes back? And then he pops back up being Mr. Bizarro, but he has lost like 300 pounds or something crazy like that. Like he's back to looking like how he did before he started his whole weight gain journey, right? Anna didn't really go anywhere. She continued to post to TikTok and Instagram and Threads, so we knew exactly where she was at all times. We knew exactly what was going on at all times. She just wasn't posting any long form content to YouTube. And so this particular intro that she does here, this "Did you miss me? Because I'm back." It's just like, well, yeah, but you didn't really go anywhere, and we know what was going on. So I don't. It's almost as if she thought that her audience on YouTube did not watch anything else. Like, didn't watch her shorts on YouTube, because the shorts on YouTube were the same as the TikToks. So even if you were just watching shorts, you would still know what was going on. So it was just a very interesting and weird way for her to come back in this video, because it's just like, girl, we done known. But anyway, so that is Law 16, this particular intro. So, okay, I was going to use like one example here, but this is pretty much throughout the entire video. And again, this is the overview. So throughout the video, she uses what's Law 12, which is selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. This is a manipulation control to take control of the narrative, because it selectively reveals emotional vulnerability specifically to disarm skepticism and effectively neutralize criticism by creating sympathy rather than scrutiny. It's, you can't scrutinize me because I'm a victim, basically. And Anna is not terribly successful at it, but she uses it a lot. And she uses it throughout the video, so I don't really feel like using one example is particularly like poignant, especially since like we are going to go over probably the 2 biggest points where she does this throughout the video, being the picnic table and then in the bedroom, or the living room. But this selective honesty in general, and this manipulation of the narrative control is things like her talking about how hard her recovery was. I think she talks about there was a point where this is the most depressed I've ever been, or there's another point where she's like, I couldn't lift I couldn't lift my arms, I couldn't do my makeup, I couldn't do my hair. I think she's talking about her second or third surgery where she's like, I decided to go it alone, and it was a bad idea because I didn't have anybody to talk to. And she shows video of herself pacing around in the doctor's office. Let me see if I can pull that up. Okay, this is the section where Anna's going to tell us about how she decided to go in the surgery without anybody with her. And I think it was the second surgery. Go.
Hindsight, feel stupidly decided to go alone. I'm just waiting and shuffling around the room. Whoa. It's weird to not have someone to talk to. Last times I did this, I had someone with me, so I had like someone to talk to. I think that's so far the only thing that bothers me is that there's just no one to talk to while you wait. There's no one to talk to except you, internet. And that's why there really wasn't a ton of content around it, because I was on my own and I was very overwhelmed and it was not fun. And if there's one thing I learned from surgery number 2, don't go it alone. You don't.
So I don't really feel like we need to do much more of that, but it's these moments here. Yes, she is being vulnerable. Yes, she is probably speaking truth. Yes, but the other point of this was to show us, the audience, her in these moments so that we could not criticize her. Sorry, the cough drop. Because how can you criticize me? I was vulnerable. How can you criticize me? I was clearly, scared. I was clearly not having a good time of it. So that kind of a thing. Okay, so the rest of the laws are going to come into play while we are sitting at the picnic table. So let's jump into that, shall we? Okay, this one we're probably not going to play any of it. I'm just going to read through these things and just give you little quotes. But this one, there's a lot going on in this. This is where Anna sits down and begins to start to lecture the audience about, and not just the audience, but like reaction channels, people who criticized her, people who didn't support her, pretty much anybody who wasn't going, oh my God, Anna, you're so awesome. I can't believe you're so awesome. Oh my God, how can I be as awesome as you? You're the most awesome person who ever awesomed. Oh my God. Pretty much anybody who wasn't doing that, Anna's lecturing us. But, and this is the first of 2 of these in this 27-minute video. And this is 13 minutes in. So this is pretty much the end of any of the updates we really receive about the surgeries. So we really only got about 13 minutes of surgery update, right? So if you were wondering. Now, this is going to be Law 6, which is court attention at all costs. She's exploiting audience empathy and trying to control the dynamics. Around here, she says something to the effect of, I haven't logged in or looked at YouTube in probably 5 months. And then she says something to the effect of, I'm probably not going to. She's emphasizing her extended absence to intensify the emotional reaction of the audience. She's trying to craft herself as a victim who is courageous, and she's trying to court empathy from the audience because, oh my God, you guys, I just couldn't possibly have gotten on YouTube, specifically YouTube, in 5 months because, like, it's just such a toxic place. But I've been on TikTok and I've been on Instagram and I've been on Threads, and I think she was on other social media. But YouTube, I just couldn't possibly have been on YouTube. The one platform where people are able to openly create content, where they can openly ask and criticize and confront me about the things that I say. Where it is easiest for people to say, hey, that doesn't sound right. Hey, I'm fact checking you. Hey, in the past you have said X, Y, and Z. Why are you saying ABC now? YouTube, where it is the easiest to be criticized, that is the platform I couldn't possibly have brought myself to be on in the past 5 months. So that is the courting attention at all costs. And it's not even that she hasn't been on it, because it's been obvious she hasn't been on it, other than she's been posting shorts. She has to bring attention to the fact that she hasn't been on it, and then has to caveat it with, and I probably won't be on it. Now, this is pre-surgery 4. surgery for occurs during this little video montage that she puts together here. So what she's doing here is she's trying to point out to the supporters that she does have what a toxic environment YouTube is. Now keep in mind, this video only goes up on YouTube. These long form videos only go up on YouTube. So she's only speaking to the YouTube audience here, right? And then Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew, where she's aggressively addressing criticism and trying to exploit empathy. And this is where she starts really trying to drag her fandom into this. She says, seeing my fans get so angry for me, I just want you guys to know I'm okay. So here she's trying to single out her fans, and she's trying to let them know that A, she sees them, which does she though? And B, she's letting them know that they are separate from the people she's talking to, right? So you aren't like the other people. You're over here. These are my fans, and this is everybody else who I'm actually talking to. So she's trying to exploit her fans' emotional defensiveness. She's trying to act as if she is protective towards them in some way. And then she's trying to activate their aggressiveness and trying to get them to continue to advocate for her, and weaponize their empathy to combat criticism towards her on YouTube specifically. Remember, this is only on YouTube. This isn't on TikTok. This isn't on Instagram. This isn't anywhere else. This is only YouTube. So again, she's only speaking to her supporters on YouTube, right? So this is a very niche group of supporters that she is speaking to here. Law 42 also comes into play here, which is strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. She's taking a very aggressive stance towards critics, and she's trying to take control. She's trying to take power away from these critics. She's trying to take control of the narrative away from the critics. She says people who feel comfortable doing that, i.e. criticizing her or calling into question her lipedema journey, they're not the people I should listen to. I mean, God forbid you listen to people who are like, hey, that thing that the doctors are telling you, it doesn't sound right. God forbid you should listen to that. She's clearly saying that clearly trying to say that critics are illegitimate and harmful. She's trying to undermine their ability and their credibility, and she's trying to discourage further critique, and she's trying to, again, rally her supporters against critics. And she does this a lot. The last few times that I have done a 48 Laws on Anna specifically, she does this a lot. She really tries to get her supporters to rally against people who critique her. And again, keep in mind, this video, again, is just for YouTube. She's not talking to people on TikTok. She's not talking to people on Instagram. She's not talking to people on Threads. She's just talking to her YouTube audience, or what's left of it, right? Excuse me. So she just wants the YouTube critics to be quiet, and she just wants her YouTube audience to go after the YouTube critics, right? But she's going to shelter them. She's keeping them safe. Like she sees them protecting her, so they're special to her. Don't you want to be special to her? She sees you standing up for her. Don't you want to be special to her? It's that kind of shit, right? That's why this is called manipulation. That's why this is manipulation. Don't you want to be special to me? My special people stand up for me. I see when my special people stand up for me. Don't you want to go these people are being mean to me. You could stand up to them for me. Then you would be special to me. I might actually even respond to your comment. You know, the concept here with the strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter is, if you could take out a critic, like let's take Alan Roberts, because she freaking hates Alan Roberts, right? If by some chance she could somehow delegitimize Alan Roberts, this will never happen. if she could in some way delegitimize Alan Roberts in the eyes of his bajillion followers and to the point where they would turn on him. That's the concept here, right? If she could somehow strike a blow that would cause Alan's audience to turn on him. Again, this will never happen. That would be the goal, right? Because now Alan's effectively canceled and his audience would turn. They would never trust him again. They would never listen to him again. And so Alan could spend all day long, yelling about Anna and no one would listen, right? That's the goal. Again, this will never happen. Not in my lifetime anyway, or not in any world that I can foresee. But that's the goal. And that's why she's so ambiguous about this stuff. And that's why she sends her audience, her supporters on such vague missions, right? All the critics are being mean to me. All the critics, these are not people I should be listening to. These people, they just feel comfortable being critical of me. No, Anna, we feel comfortable calling out your bullshit because your bullshit is harmful. It could hurt somebody. It's fine if you want to go hurt yourself on your time, on your dime. Go forth. Do what you will. You're a 42-year-old woman. Have a good time. But maybe don't encourage other people to do it. That's where we start having the problem. You're encouraging other people to do it as well. That's the problem, right? And that's where she starts having a problem, is where we start saying, hey, don't encourage other people to do this thing that you're doing because it's maybe not the best thing to do. She wants to be the authority. She wants to be the Pied Piper. We are trying to warn people against that. And now we are the enemy because she can't be wrong. All right. And this follows into play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. This is Law 27. Strategically perform empathy for exploitation. This goes back to, it's made me realize how many people out there have my back that I have actually helped. Don't you want to be special to me? Don't you want to be my special follower? Don't you want me to notice you? Senpai will notice you if you support me. Don't you want to go support me by going after these evil, hateful creators? Don't you want me to notice you? It's that shit. So this is just more, Anna wants to create, everybody wants to be supported by their audience. I mean, even Amber wants this, right? Every creator wants to have a supportive audience. Nobody wants a hateful audience, right? That's just a lot. So everybody wants to be supportive. The problem is Anna has ignored and manipulated and lied to her audience at this point, to the point where she's starting to take some serious blows. And the other issue here is Anna has become a large enough creator, a noticeable enough creator, that she's attracting both positive and negative attention. And this happens, right? That you will eventually, if you're a creator like Anna, you will eventually reach a point where you will attract both sides. It's just inevitable, right? So that's the other problem that's happening here. But since Anna never spent the time to really build a positive fan base, because she didn't interact with her fan base when she had the time to create that positive fan base, now she's kind of scrambling, right? And so she's got a handful of people who will go around and they will go to people's channels and they will leave random comments on creators' channels about how we're horrible people because we're jealous of Anna some reason. Okay, cool. But, that's not enough, right? She doesn't have enough support and she's starting to feel it. So now she's trying to build that cult-like following that she should have been building the last 8 years, right? So now she's trying to position herself as a benevolent figure, somebody who's been helping people, who's trying to guide other women who have health issues or mysterious health problems or even lipedema itself. She's trying to cultivate an audience dependency, and she's trying to leverage herself above that audience as their hero and as the relatable figure who triumphs through personal adversity. She is overcoming her lipedema. She is overcoming her EDS. She is overcoming her, what else does she have? Her chronic fatigue. She is overcoming her ADHD when it, behooves her to have it. She's overcoming her what's the one? Hashimoto's. I forget the rest of the crap she has. I need to write these things down. But that's the thing. Like, she is overcoming all of the things that are wrong with her, none of which are obesity. So she's overcoming all of these other things that are not the obvious thing. And so can you if you follow in her footsteps, kind of a thing, right? And then at the end of this particular lecture, she preaches the need for change, but never reforming too much at once. She's not going to change too much. She lets on that this is the beginning of something really exciting, where she's suggesting that something's going to change. Something exciting is going to change. She has done this in the past, and it never ends well. It never goes anywhere. It's not even that it never ends well, because that suggests that something happens. She did this exact same thing when she was like, oh, I'm going to start a newsletter. And that lasted for like 2 months, 3 months, until she launched her sweaters, and then we never saw it again. She did this with the sweaters. She was like, oh, something exciting is going to happen. And then she launched her sweaters. And I don't really know if they did well or not. I really don't know. I know she had a lot of love, and she got a lot of hate. I'm pretty sure they're on sale now, but again, they're Christmas sweaters, so I don't know why you'd be buying a Christmas sweater in May, but knock yourself out. She did this when she was in that indie movie that I still need to find, because I really am interested in watching it. But then she never fucking mentioned it again. Like, she put out, I think, 3 whole posts about the fact that she was in an indie movie, and that was it. Never fucking talked about it again. Yeah, there was something else she did where she was like, ooh, something exciting's gonna happen. And then nothing never came of it. So this is very common for her to do. Something exciting's coming, and then we'll never hear about it again, or we'll get like a little tiny glimpse of it, and then nothing will ever happen. So yes, she does try to do this performative empathy. She tries to manipulate with this like, ooh, moment, but then nothing fucking happens. So that was pretty much this sit down at the table moment here, which was basically just trying to rally the troops, kind of, to come to her defense, because the horrible, horrible critic people were being critical of her, and how dare they? And she sees you people who are supporting her, you people, don't you want her to notice you? Don't you want her to see you? You should go support her. And that's basically what this was. And that was, I don't know, maybe like 5-10 minutes of this video here. Like, this was long. This took a while for us to get through. And then the next part I want to talk about is we're back in the living room area. So, all right. So I said this is the last part I want to wrap up with, and this is the last part of the video. It's about 6 minutes long. Let me pull my notes back up again. Just kind of want to go over a couple more. I'm going to go back over the principles just real fast, because there are a couple things that pop up here. This one is probably, because it's the wrap up. This is kind of like, well, it's the wrap up. So it's kind of like meaty part of the video for Anna. Usually Anna wraps these things up with a bunch of word salad. This is not it. Usually, normally she's usually with her documentary, she just kind of word salads us out, and it's like, I don't usually understand what the point of it is. This one, she's kind of going back to what she was saying at the picnic table. Like, she forgot that she had said most of what she said at the picnic table. And then lecturing us again about things that she has said in past Instagram stories, which are now, I mean, they still exist, but they're not on Instagram anymore because they're stories. But we go back to if you watch the first part of this, which is another video entirely, we go back to the benevolent cultural norms, which is normalizing negative things for personal gain, basically. She's like, I don't owe anybody an explanation for my health, where she's dismissing her own accountability under the guise of personal empowerment. And she's trying to encourage her audience to uh, view legitimate criticism as intrusive or even hostile towards her. She's trying to shift the power dynamic or control the power dynamic. She says that people who feel comfortable criticizing her are not people she should invite into her life. Again, it's reinforcing her power dynamic, positioning her as being morally superior to the critics by framing them as emotionally harmful towards her and her audience. Her ethical ambiguity. She says, I was carrying and living with and putting up with her pain simply because I didn't know there was anything different. She's trying to frame her emotional and physical struggles as justification for manipulating her viewers' empathy and shielding herself from critique. I remember when Lindsay got to this point in the video and she about lost her shit, because at this point, Anna basically has admitted to flat out lying for all of these years. And she just wants to hand wave the fact that she has been lying. She just wants to hand wave it away. And this is part of it. She just wants to be like, yeah, I've been lying to you all this time. But it's no big deal. And that's that's Anna for you, though. Anna just wants to rewrite everything. She just wants to reframe it and rewrite it in a way that doesn't make her wrong. And that's kind of where all of this comes from. You know, it's that's why she's so fascinating to look at in these manipulative ways, because I don't even know if she realizes that's what she just got done saying. I don't even know if she realizes that she was like, yeah, I've been lying to you for 8 years, or at least since 2017. And yeah, but it's no big deal, because I don't think that registered in her head that that's what she meant, because Anna's been so bent on making up this lipedema story and this lipedema journey to mean that, like, oh, I've been in so much pain. Oh my God, you guys. But she's only been doing that since 2024. She's only been doing this since 2024. So I don't believe that she really has been. I think the lie, I think the actual lie is the I was carrying and living with and putting up with so much pain because I simply didn't know there was anything different. I think that is the actual lie. But she didn't think it through, right? She didn't think through the fact that if she said that it meant that everything else was a lie, right? Either way, she has admitted to lying. And she just wants her audience to be like, oh, okay. Oh, no big deal. I mean, 8 years of lying. Yeah. So, whatever. Um, cultural relativism. Again, she's saying, she frames public criticism or questioning as inherently traumatic. She says trauma a lot in here. The surgery was traumatic. The price of the surgery was traumatic. The criticism was traumatic. The scrutiny was traumatic. People talking about her was traumatic. So this is her trying to reframe any kind of criticism as being inherently traumatic. She's trying to discourage criticism and scrutiny towards her motives and her actions. And her way of doing that is using the most bombastic buzzword she can think of, and that happens to be trauma. Um, then we go back to intent versus reception. She says, "I'm back because I love this community. You've been so kind and supportive and encouraging." But that is after the picnic table conversation where she says, "I've been gone for 5 months, and I've been gone from YouTube for 5 months, and I probably won't be back," implying that YouTube is such a toxic cesspool that she just couldn't bring herself to be on it. Right? And not only that, but she probably couldn't bring herself to come back to it. Right? So which is it? Is it a toxic cesspool that you just can't dip your toe into? Or is it this loving, supportive, and encouraging community? And again, keep in mind, this video is only for YouTube. This isn't going anywhere else. She's only talking to YouTube here. So, which is it, Anna? So again, this goes back to I don't even think she hears herself. This is why Anna doesn't tick me off as much as the other girls do, because I don't think Anna thinks far enough ahead. I don't think Anna's stupid. I just don't think Anna thinks far enough ahead. But she's trying to control audience. She's trying to control the audience's reception of her by trying to appear altruistic and trying to appear supportive of her own audience by completely negating that she had just got done saying, "Y'all are a bunch of, like, this place is toxic and I can't stand it." Right? And she's also trying to kind of like cover up the fact that everything she does is basically a commercial. Right? Everything Anna does on YouTube and any other platforms, honestly, it's even leaked over into Threads now, where she didn't used to advertise on Threads. She didn't try to like make money on Threads, but now she's basically doing the same thing on Threads that she does on any of her other platforms, which goes under covert motives. She says, "I'm going to bring back the halls because I've heard you loud and clear that you miss them." This tries to reinforce or tries to suggest that she's bringing back the halls because the viewers have requested it. And this is her rewarding viewer loyalty and trying to bring back what her brand was built on, which were fashion halls. But also, this is where Anna makes her money, or at least where she has made her money in the past, is the fashion halls getting sponsorships and partnering with fashion halls and then selling that shit to her audiences and having them purchase through her the stuff that she has worn, right? Which I'm not going to be mad at somebody. It's YouTube. Let's not be children here. But to be like, "Oh, you guys, oh, you missed my fashion hauls. Oh, well, don't worry, I'm going to bring them back." Girl, you're bringing them back because you need your bag. Okay, you need money. It's fine. It's YouTube. Let's not pretend. Okay. I don't need her to come back on here and be like, "I'm hard up for cash, so I'm going to start doing fashion hauls again." I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, we've talked about this apartment. But I don't want her to be like, "Oh, I'm going to reward you guys for being such good audience members by giving you fashion hauls again." She does that so much. There's a quote from her from a couple of years ago now of her gifting us with her videos. These videos that she makes, they're gifts to us. Like, she really does consider her audience well beneath her. And this is just another one of those moments where, like, she's going to gift us the fashion hauls again. We're so lucky. to get Anna to be giving us at the fashion halls back again. And then her, it's making me think about how to be part of change, where she's trying to portray herself as being ethically conscious and trying to deflect criticism again without having to genuinely engage with anything with a deeper ethical question about exploitation, and exploitation of herself, no less, if not exploitation of her audience itself. So this is just another one of her like hand waving moments. Now those are the dark anthropology points. The laws of power. I tried to put these in order, so we're gonna jump back again. So the timestamps here were okay. So we've got Law 6 here, which is court attention at all costs. She's like, I'm starting my journey towards getting to be Anna without surgery looming over my head. All throughout this video, she's talking about how she's ready to be done with surgery. I'm sure she is. This is her 4th surgery, and this apparently was the most aggressive of the 4 surgeries. So she's trying to recapture the audience attention by dramatizing her personal struggle and reinforcing their emotional investment in her journey. I don't know how many people really were emotionally invested in Anna's journey here, but I don't know. I really don't know, honestly, how many people were emotionally invested in Anna's full ass journey. But she does have quite a few supporters, so somebody out there has to be invested in it. But I know quite a few of us are invested in her being done with it because of the amount of misinformation that she has been putting out there because of her journey. So there is that. Law 3, conceal your intentions. She does leave the door open very, very subtly for there to be surgeries down the road. She says, you wonder, will this work for me? And honestly, I don't know. And then at another part in the video, she says something to the effect of, I might need further surgeries later on. This is a strategic use of uncertainty to obscure her motivations, but it leaves the door open for continued audience support should she need it later on. Because this is supposed to be the final surgery. She's not supposed to. This is supposed to be the big one, the end of it all, right? This is the cure. But now she's left it open to like, oh, I might need a touch up here and there, you know? She's already left that door open, which a lot of us were speculating that she might end up doing because there's no way in hell. Anyway. So we also go down to Law 12 with the selective honesty to disarm. She does that whole, if you know, she's honest about her struggles with it, but then she does the whole, if you can stick with it, you can get to the end, where she is selectively sharing her ups and her downs and seemingly being honest about it. And that way it makes her relatable or peers relatable. And that's a way of disarming potential critics because she's maintaining an audience loyalty because like, oh, she's so relatable. I know what that's like. Everybody's had an up and a down moment, right? And so's Anna. Oh my God, Anna's had an up and a down moment. I've had an up and a down moment. Anna and I are almost the same person, you know, kind of a thing. And how dare this person criticize poor Anna because she's having an up and a down moment? What kind of monster would do that? You know, it's that kind of a thing. Again, we go to Law 42, strike the shepherd. The people who feel comfortable doing that are not people I should invite into my life. I didn't know I was invited. I'm sorry I've been uninvited, but dang, I was, again, looking forward to that office, the apartment tour. But again, she's aggressively discrediting her critics. She's trying to isolate them, and she's trying to neutralize potential influence of her critics on her story. One of the problems of her being gone for 6 months from long form content on YouTube is that she has left a huge vacuum when it comes to confronting criticism on YouTube anyway. Now, the majority of her audience is on TikTok. I've said this before, but the majority of the criticism occurs on YouTube. And the YouTube, when it comes to that, YouTube is the larger platform for that. And when it comes to attention span, YouTube is the larger platform. So this is where she's going to have a harder time getting a foothold, because even though she's being aggressive about trying to discredit critics and trying to isolate critics, and she's gone after a couple people, not by name but effectively that way, it's backfired on her, because she doesn't go after them in a way that effectively discredits them. It just attacks them and it draws attention to them. And when that happens, it really kind of builds their credibility, because she doesn't provide a way of tearing that credibility down. And I think of things like when she criticized but didn't outright criticize Colin Mockery's lipedema video, which wasn't necessarily about Anna. It was just about lipedema and how the treatment of it is different in the US versus everywhere else in the world. But it came about because of Anna and her misinformation about lipedema. And not only did it bring a lot of eyeballs to Colin's video, but it also, Alan, we'll get to Alan. Colin also was able to follow that up with an interview with one of the doctors from the International Lipedema standards. So that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. And Anna doesn't have anything like that to follow that up with, right? None of the stuff that Anna provided for us even comes close to that, right? So in a weird way, it kind of validated the work that Colin did, and it kind of invalidated the crap that Anna provided. I don't really know. Her and Alan just go tit for tat, so I don't know. I don't really watch Alan, so you all who do will have to let me know how her going after Alan has affected Alan's overall, view in the eyes of his followers. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it did not negatively affect anyone's opinion of Alan, especially since her calling him a snake oil salesman and then doing this shit probably didn't like hurt him in any way, because what is this? What, you are literally selling surgery as a form of weight loss. I'm not sure which one of you's the snake. Oh wait, no, wait. I'm pretty sure which one of you's the snake oil salesman, and it's not the bald one. So again, I don't even watch Alan. So, that kind of shit. But again, as I was talking about with the Strike the Shepherd, the whole concept is to discredit the shepherd in the eyes of their audience, because if you can do that, you scatter the audience. And so you effectively are scattering the criticism, right? It's the idea of it anyway. Will it happen? Probably not. Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. This is trying to manipulate through emotional vulnerabilities to secure loyalty and to suppress dissent. So this kind of goes along with the Strike the Shepherds kind of a thing, where you're trying to find the vulnerabilities of said shepherds. But again, since she's not directly attacking anyone in particular, she's trying to attack critics as a whole, which is very difficult to do because we're all varying different people, and some of us probably really are just assholes who are just coming after her because she's a big girl, and some of us have legitimate complaints and legitimate criticisms, because some of us actually don't give a shit. We just don't like the fact that you're putting medical misinformation out there as if it were fact. But this also comes down to the use of nostalgia to secure loyalty, like the whole gifting of the clothing hauls again. Again, going back to the roots of her channel. The thumb screw can also be a carrot. It doesn't have to be a stick, right? So she's trying to lure her audience back to her via the oh, we're gonna start doing clothing hauls again, guys. Don't you want to come back and see me doing my clothing hauls again? You know, kind of a thing. We're also looking at Law 27, which is play on people's need to believe. She says she's exploiting the audience's belief in community. You've all been so supportive and encouraging of me. My audience has supported me. She said at the picnic table, what was it? I didn't like how my supporters were being attacked. And then later she says, this community is so warm and supportive. You know, she's trying to create the idea that her community is a positive one. And maybe it is. She certainly does not have like Amber Lynn's audience. She definitely does not have that. So maybe she overall does actually have a warm and supportive audience that is mostly supportive and encouraging. I could believe that, really, honestly. So maybe she is just trying to rebuild that, and trying to create and trying to rekindle that community that is supportive, and again trying to build that cult-like following that is resistant to criticism. Like, if you go on to, if Anna didn't delete your comments, if you went on to Anna's channel and you left a not so nice comment about her, I would be willing to believe you might get dogpiled by the number of supporters that she had. I mean, I would suspect Anna doesn't actually really need to police her comments. I would suspect that her supporters would probably police the comments for her. Like, she might get one or two. She does get some weird comments on TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. A lot, mostly from like Russian people. I don't get it. Russian guys apparently really find her hot. I suspect they're bots, but still, it's weird. Anyway, she does get some weird ass comments. But I suspect if she left some of the more like critical comments up there, I really suspect that her followers would actually go to bat for her, and she really wouldn't need to delete those. I don't think they'd be deleted, but they would be confronted by her followers. I just suspect that she wouldn't need to do that. But that's what she's trying to do here with the play on people's need to believe. She's trying to rekindle that community. She's trying to rekindle that. I hate using the term cult-like, but she is trying to create that tight-knit community, you know, built around the idol of Anna. So, and then yeah, the use of absence to increase respect. The whole "I'm back because I love this community." You know, that's after she told us that we were all a bunch of toxic assholes, but apparently she still loves us. So we get to have her back, you guys. She's going to come back for us. We're toxic assholes, but we're her toxic assholes. Kind of like that, actually. Put that on a t-shirt now. Anna, you're toxic assholes, but you're my toxic assholes. 2024 or 2025. So anyway, that's the absence to increase. Absence, what is it? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. But yeah, it's the strategic absence and return to deepen emotional investments and to magnify her perceived value. So those are the laws here. Basically, she's trying to be emotionally exploitive. She's trying to control the narrative. She's trying to be strategically performative, and she's taking an aggressive stance against critics. And all of this is as she's trying to be that lipedema warrior. She's trying to rebrand. Maybe she's going to come back and start doing some of the old stuff again. I don't know. Maybe she'll rebrand back to the old brand. I don't know. I don't know what's in store for us with Anna, because she's still got that podcast. God only knows what she's planning on doing in the future. I don't know what her contract with the lipedema whatever place she's working for right now. I don't know what that contract probably looks like. She still works for Starbucks, you know, and if she's going to be doing hauls, she's going to start looking for sponsorships there again. So who's she going to get sponsors with now? I mean, I don't know, not Target. So anyway, but this is how influencers work, right? This is how influencers, they maintain power. Well, this is how they should work. This is how they maintain their power. This is how they maintain their control of their audiences. This is how they exploit and manipulate. And this is not necessarily, I know these are negative words, and I know this sounds like I'm going out on a negative note here, but this is what influencers are, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, influencers influence. That's what they do. They make us want things. They make us want to buy things. They make us want to use things. They make us want to listen to music or watch a movie or eat a particular dish or stuff, which, you know, they make us want to go to the gym. They make us want to, I don't know, go on vacation somewhere. It's not necessarily something negative. It's just we're so programmed to believe that the word influence is negative that once you start adding words onto that, you know, you're just, anything that's attached to that is obviously negative. Um, but as an influencer, you know, you need to maintain engagement and you need to foster a community, and preferably a positive community. You can't have everybody, not everybody's going to love you, but you preferably want the majority of people to like you. Like, you want to have a positive engagement with your community. And to do that, you have to interact with said community, right? And that kind of a thing. So Anna, for better or for worse, is an influencer, and that's Anna's brand. And so that tirade she went on Instagram where she was like, it's not my job to make you like me. Actually, it is. That is your job. That you are an influencer. Your job is for me to like you, because if I don't like you, I'm not going to do or buy or see the things you want me to do, because I don't like you. It's like with Amber. Amber tries to like shill something and everyone's like, well, I immediately don't like it. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is, if Amber says it's good, I hate it. You know, it's that kind of a thing. She's an anti-influencer. Anna's not that. Anna wants to be able to put on a shade of lipstick, and it's like that $48 lipstick, and she wants people to be like, oh, I need that $48 lipstick. Do you, though? Do you? You know, if you want to go buy $48 lipstick, knock yourself out, but do you need it? You know, do you need the most recent flavor of whatever Starbucks drink is out there? Do you? You know, that kind of shit. But that's Anna's job. Anna's job is to make you think you do, or at least that you really want it, you know? So, anyway. All right. I think we have beat this damn video to death. If we haven't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm done with this video. So if you've made it this far, go ahead and leave a fish, maybe a seahorse. Do they have seahorses? If they have a seahorse, gold star for a seahorse. Or whatever kind of aquatic animal you can think of, because of the PJs. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them down below. Let me know what your comments are. I know I cover a lot when I go over these, so let me know. I just assume people are on the same page as me. That is a bad assumption to make. So let me know if I've lost people. Let me know where I lost you. Timestamps are great. Really helps me figure out where I lost people at. And yeah. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. I have 3 levels of membership now if anybody's interested. My brain is fried at this point. So this was a 2-parter. I will not see anybody in the next part because we are done. And hopefully y'all are having a good week, and I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.